Hey guys, it's Chris here with Dead Stock Monsters. I'm here today. I'm going to be doing a tour of my fish room and some of my other fish tanks that are around the house. Starting off here first, I have my 100-gallon stock tank, which I've converted into an indoor pond, as you can see. This houses a single bass. He's about 12 inches right now, and he will be moved into a either 150-gallon or 300-gallon stock tank next, because he will be a large fish. Next to it I have my 40-gallon stock tank, which is my suck filter for that 100-gallon. This side is where the carbon is and all kinds of filtration stuff, filtration material. On this side is kind of where the clean water goes. I do keep fish in here as well, mostly feeder fish. And I also have a musk turtle, which is what the heat and the UV light are about. But the bamboo helps me keep all the water clean. I got some little guys in here for all the predatory fish. The musk turtle usually hangs out over here, even though I don't want him to. And I can throw him over on the other side as much as I want. He always ends up making his way in there somehow. Down here, I have my Texas convict cichlid, and you can see him, he's right here, but he's a little camera shy, and he already ate today. He is a pretty cool fish. I do not know how big he's gonna get because he is a hybrid, so I don't know what tank he's gonna end up being in, but for now, he's all good in this one. He's only about the size of my thumb right now. This tank, we have my axolotl. Sorry about the glare. Now he's not a fish, he's actually a salamander. But this type of salamander never loses their gills from their embryo stage, where they would be in the water like a tadpole. So they keep their gills. He's pretty cool. He's in a 20 high. No heater or anything, he likes the cold water. No heater on this one either. He likes the cold water. It's not really cold, it's only about 68 degrees, but that's good for them. This guy, I keep it about 79, 80 degrees. Next to those, I have my 75-gallon community tank. Now, I could probably use some more fish. Sorry about the glare. The light is all the way up there, so it doesn't make it that easy. But this is a blackwater tank. I used oak leaves for this, even though I do have some Indian almond leaves on the way for these guys and my shrimp. Started off with oak leaves, and that would work pretty good. I did not boil them, even though I would recommend boil them. Only because they could be putting harmful stuff into your fish tank. I did rinse them off thoroughly with extremely hot water. I just did not want to boil them because I just wanted to achieve the color in the tank that I did get, but it does not show too well with all this glare, especially, and with how light the fish room is right now with all the lights on it. I have black skirt tetra in here. I've got Endler guppies. I've got regular guppies. I've got clown pleco, otocinclus, Pilatus cory, Sturgis cory, spotted Raphael cat, neon tetra. I have German blue ram and a gold ram, which are the same type of fish, and I intend to breed them. But this is one of my favorite tanks. I want to put some more different types of tetras in here. But the guppies, I just keep finding cool Endler guppies I like and throwing them in here when I pick up a bag of feeders. So it's getting overrun by guppies. Let's see, there's a cool one. And across from it, I have my African cichlid tank, which houses 4 yellow labs, 1 clown, I'm sorry, bristlenose pleco. You can see one. So I use the center block for caves in this tank. I've
washed it off real good and rinsed it out because it was pretty dusty. It did have a good amount of dirt and stuff on it, but it's all clean now. There's my bristlenose pleco. So I let some algae grow in this tank because the pleco and the labs will eat the algae, hopefully. They don't do a very good job of it, but I just scrape it once it gets about a couple weeks, like 2 weeks after this. It'll start to get worse than this, and I'll scrape it. But I have some bamboo in here, just like I do in here, to help keep the water clean. I also have some other plants, even though African cichlids wouldn't typically have too many plants in their tank. It just does help me with the water. So other than the center block, I did make a cave system out of lace rock, which the largest female usually claims for her own. So these kind of work good for everybody else. They can go hide in there. Pleco usually chills out in there. Underneath that, I have just some black mollies. I was gonna put some Christmas moss or Java moss in here, which I still think I'm gonna do, but they're gonna get some type of plant that I'm gonna plant in the ground. That's what I put up that sand up there for today. You can see those guys are just breeders, just to breed them and get the babies so I can feed them. Feed the babies to all those cichlids and everybody else who needs to eat little baby fish. These guys, when they get bigger, can go to the bluegills and bass and all kinds of stuff that will eat good sized fish, the turtle. In this very dim lit tank, I have a very small arowana. Somewhere right there, a freshwater barracuda. These fish both get very large, but are in a small grow out tank right now. Get both of them in the shot. Yeah, he was getting beat up inside the 55 gallons, so he had to come in here. The larger freshwater barracuda was nipping at him, so he's in here until I put that guy somewhere else. He's a little big for everybody. This tank is not in my fish room. This tank houses a single male bluegill. This is a 50-gallon bow front, I believe. This is Thor. He's an 8-inch standard bluegill, not any hybrid. He's a full bluegill. He's just awesome. He eats fathead minnows, chunks of tilapia, cichlid pellets, predator sinking pellets, night crawlers, red worms. He's an awesome fish. As you can see, there's a good amount of plants in this tank. It's a very low-tech tank. Trying to keep mostly sponge filters on everything. Does get some algae in it, which this I do scrape off because he's got no interest in doing anything like that, and can't really put anybody with him to help me clean out because he is pretty aggressive. So he temporarily gets some fathead minnow friends until he decides he's going to eat them all. And across from that guy, I have my 55-gallon. This is a mostly cichlid tank. I have 2 peacock bass in here. Very young peacock bass. Pretty little guys. I've got a albino tiger Oscar. And I've got that other freshwater barracuda I was talking about. He's a bully. So he's probably gonna get moved out so I can put that smaller freshwater barracuda and the arowana in here because that'll go good with these guys. And he will be put by himself where he can mangle smaller fish as much as he wants. Also in here I have a convict parrot cichlid mix. I like the convict hybrids. They're pretty cool because the convicts will breed with just about anything. And these are the outcomes of that. She's a sweet little fish, but if anybody comes near her, she chases them away. She's a tough little girl. Also, somewhere in here is my common pleco.
The arowana and the freshwater barracuda will be in here soon enough. Not that it'll last any of them that long, because it's only a 55, but maybe about 2 months. This is my dog.
Zira, she's a German Rottweiler.
She's a big fatty. She's 3. She's not that fat. She only weighs about 110 pounds, which is pretty small for a rat. She's a good girl. Here's my cherry shrimp tank. You can see a couple cherries down there. This I've got Java moss in. I've got a few different types of wood. I've only got a couple yellows. But I also have 2 otocinclus in here. Kind of keep me help out in the algae, and they also provide good nutrients for the shrimp in the water because of their waste. So they're a good fish to keep with shrimp because they have no interest in hurting the shrimp, nor the baby shrimp, if they do breed. Now I'm only breeding these guys to feed my other fish, because my other fish would love shrimp as a treat. In this tank, I have another pure bluegill. He was in with the other guy until the other guy became extremely aggressive, so he's now in with this small pumpkin seed sunfish, who they do very well together. They're both monsters. You can see they got a couple fat heads they haven't ate yet either. Now actually both of these fish eat fathead minnows, and you can see the size comparison between that fat head and that pumpkin seed. And she'll eat them all day. She's a monster. And in this tank, I've got my male multicolor crown-tail beta. You can see he's got some nice blue, purple, white. And I know I have an accidental saltwater decor going, but my family picked me up these shells in Texas and decided I was going to throw him in his tank because he didn't really have too much to interact with. But he can actually go inside of these, so they make a nice couple hides for him and likes to swim around them and stuff. He's an awesome guy. And in the tank right next to it, last but not least, I have kind of like a green water tank that I keep my baby fish in. A lot of black mollies in there, and they're all hiding. There's one. I also have a baby male beta, some baby platies, mono shrimp, baby leopard danio that I've been raising. I didn't know what he was, so I just threw him in here, and some baby white cloud minnows that I felt sorry for when I was feeding their buddies to my fish. So try and leave the green algae in here so the babies can pick at it and just scrape off the front so I can see them still. But yeah, that's the last tank, guys. Hope you enjoyed.